Good afternoon, and welcome to Legacy of Love and Laughter with the sisters, Alicia
and Valerie.
And we're doing these videos for our families, initially for our families, but then friends, and guess what? We got followers too. Oh, I like
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thunk it? Today, we've got a really special topic. It's number one of treasures, trash, and trinkets. And we want to talk about some of the things we've saved over the years. Sometimes you know why, and sometimes it's like, what were you thinking?
More, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I know.
Why didn't I get rid of that 10 years ago?
I know, but
you just can't. Some stuff you just can't get rid of.
Yeah, no, and you're way better at getting rid of stuff than I am.
That's because I have more stuff.
Sometimes she's too good at it, you know? Just saying. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about is my sweater, because that way I can take it off, because it's really kind of hot in here. I wanted to, this is one of those, or what were you thinking? This sweater is 38 years old.
I have some of those.
And I think I spent $5 when I bought it at a place called the Colton Swap Meet. This was in the days before the Dollar Tree, before, any of those really cheapy places. But the Colton Swap Meet was like a big old outdoor market, and they had stuff laid out on tarps and blankets and hanging on racks. And I got this sweater, and you know what? It's my go-to cozy sweater. It doesn't feel real cozy, but it works all the time. So 38 years, and if any of my kids want to sign up to have me leave this to them in my will.
Put your name on the list, not first.
So anyway, I'm taking this off now. Alrighty then. So let's talk about some treasures, and I'd like to start with the oldest ones we have. It was a tradition back in our childhood that when a baby was born, they would get a silver cup. Yeah, they used to think it was a silver spoon in their mouth, but no, it was a silver cup. So Valerie and I have ours, and when you see them, you will crack up because it's so typical of Valerie and me. And these are our cups. Now, you'll notice mine is quite tarnished, and hers is quite shiny. Now hers is bigger than mine.
It has my name on
it. It has her name on it.
And when I was born.
When she was born, and I have this funky little one with fruit and flowers on it, and it definitely needs to be polished. So that's Valerie polished, me in the rough.
Hey, it takes all kinds,
Hers is always...
That's the cup I always wanted because of pretty shape.
Oh, you did? Well, on top, swap.
You're going to let me call you Valerie?
God, no. Okay. Woo, so what shall we show of our treasure, trash, and trinkets?
Well,
next?
We've got such an oddball conglomeration. I have been getting a new bathroom put in my house, and so everything I own, from my bedroom and my bathroom, everything, are piled all over the house. So when somebody says, we have to find our little treasures, well, guess what? My little treasures are pretty much buried, really buried, under clothes, under furniture. I don't know where I'm going to put all this stuff when we finally get the bathroom finished, but I better start thinking pretty quick because it's just about finished. Painters are coming on Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that.
This is why this is volume 1, that we will have more to follow.
We can give them to you visually, and then we can...
And then what we're doing is, some of the stuff is going to get shown to you and go out the door. Some of it will be on the freebie table at the campground in case you're so fascinated. And some of it will go in the trash. So again, welcome to our adventure. I want to talk about something else now. For quite a while, I always was getting Valerie into stuff.
Always.
I was.
Still is.
But now you kind of, you got me into this,
Yeah.
But one of the things, there were so many. One of the things I got her into was weaving. And it's back when I was belly dancing, and so was she. And I had a vision that I was going to weave this amazing tapestry. And so I took her to weaving class.
She taught me more stuff. You wouldn't believe it.
These are probably going on the freebie table. You know, you might need a little, coffee cup rester. This was one of my weaving projects. And this was another one. And you would work with different kinds of fabrics and stuff like that. And this was my biggie. I don't know. I gotta let it go. It itches my hair. How can I do that? I don't know. I don't know. But
she always got me into trouble with this stuff because you know what happens? She had enough, and I'm not going to do that anymore. Now I'm hooked, which led to weaving things that were pretty nice, investments for the priest and stuff like that. And then I ended up opening a yarn shop, and everybody knows about that.
Well, no, they don't know. Our followers don't know. You and I know, and the family knows.
That was 25 years of yarn shop. It was great fun and everything, but you got to grow up sooner or later. You can't just keep buying yarn and knitting and stuff like that. It was good, though. It was really good, and I'm glad she got me into the weaving because that is what led to the knitting, which led to the yarn shop.
And what was the name?
Finally Woolies.
Why was it Finally?
I have no clue because the person who had it before we did and was looking to change her career, she named it Finally. Finally Hand Weavers is what she named it. And we didn't want to limit it to just weaving because weavers don't spend a lot of money. Knitters are crazy people. We can go crazy spending money on sweaters and Afghans and whatever we want. But weavers are a little bit more frugal with their money. So we decided weaving was okay, but knitting was where it was going to be.
So do you care to show one of your knittings? One of your knitting projects?
Well, I've got
knitting treasures, as it were.
Knitting treasures here because you know what happens when you have grandchildren and all that other stuff, and you decide, well, got to do something productive with your talent. So I knitted this teddy bear. It's a very special teddy bear, and he's got a lovely jacket on.
Sweater jacket.
He's got a jacket with a hood.
Wow. Is that going on the freebie table?
Absolutely not.
In your dreams.
I don't think there's enough money out there. His legs are all jointed and everything in his arms, so he can do all kinds of great stuff. And he's just a really sweet little bear. And in the end, I had enough bunnies and bears and stuff like that for my grandchildren, so I said, this one's going to be my treasure.
Yeah.
I got a little one that I decided that maybe I would give this one away.
Oh, that's so cute.
I didn't necessarily have to give this one away either. They made very good friends. They're the same color.
Yeah, they are.
So,
but they're not necessarily exactly the same color because
not.
we are very open to all colors here.
That's right. This is a gray.
We do not discriminate.
This is a brown teddy bear.
Yeah.
And they're really sweet. They're nice and they're soft, but they'll probably live with me forever. Or maybe I'll put them in my will, and my kids will go, oh my God, Mom, why didn't you just get rid of those 20 years ago?
I keep having nightmares about that, the things that are most precious to me that my kids are just going to like when I die. Get that crap out of here. Okay, well, if you would not mind sharing the table, we can go back again. And this is, we told you in the beginning, these are not going to be chronological, and neither will be these items as we show them to you. But this is a day where I was afraid I was going to die. And I could have died. And I'm going to have to turn that around because my camera shows things backwards till I flip it in my program. But it says March for Our Lives. And that was the Women's March back in 2019. After one of the shootings, had we known they were going to escalate the way they do, man,
it's been a very tough time.
But we had a lot of people that were very much against. I shouldn't say a lot. There were a number of people who were against the March for Our Lives, believe it or not. And when we did it, we had protesters, and they had threatened all kinds of things. But I had to take that breath, and I had to do what was right, whether I died or not. And I think that's what it means in the Bible when it said, that Jesus was willing to lay down his life for his brothers. And to me, marching for our lives was worth the risk. Of course, came out of it. The protesters across the street numbered between 8 and 12, and we had about 200 or 300. That was a good thing. So this is going to go in the trash when I'm done because I am working on being a minimalist. But I will take a picture of it first because I was very brave on that day, at least in my own eyes. So what have you got?
Well, when I was teaching dance in the later years, I liked giving a Christmas present to each one of my dancers, something I made specifically. And I was starting to run out of things, but I was getting more clever in crafts. So I decided I was going to take out my stuff for making corn husk dolls. And I made each one of my girls a corn husk doll with a costume that matched their costume.
It was made from the same material.
The same material.
Yeah.
This was my costume, and it's green and blue, and it has sequins on it, and all kinds of stuff. And you can see underneath, she's just all corn husks. See that?
Those are crafts from early America, and you know we tend to think we have to spend so much money to do stuff. I mean, and here we have the most precious little corn husk doll made with scraps.
Even her hair matches my hair.
Not anymore, it doesn't.
Curly. Not anymore, it doesn't. I don't have that much hair.
It's kind of darker, isn't it?
Darker and more of it.
Well, it's because those are not gray hairs. Those are wisdom strands. It's a wisdom strands. Now my wisdom strands are just my wisdom strands are in the pink. Okay, so moving on. I'm going to show my little collection. I don't know what else you have here, but I don't want to have more than you because we like to be even. That was one thing in my life. Everything had to be even. Yeah, whatever I spent on my kids for Christmas, everyone got the same amount, whether they thought so or not. Someday we'll talk about my mistakes in that area. So I like rocks. And one day, Valerie, which you may not know this, Valerie's an artist. And when we were little, she wanted to be an old maid artist.
That was what I wanted to be.
And I wanted to be a nun. Well, and a stripper. But that never happened. And I'm a minister, and she's an artist. And one of the things she did is she painted me a rock. That has to be probably in the early 70s. So it's a very old rock. And I just thought maybe I should keep this in my bedroom next to I keep it on my dresser. But if I put it on next to my bed, if somebody broke into the house, I could whack him over the head with this thing and he would be.
That's right.
No problem.
That's right.
This is the heaviest little rock that
they don't come a dime a dozen
for the size of it. So after she gave me that rock, I was so impressed that my son Nick painted me a rock. So he just kind of did it with watercolors, and I had sealed it after because I didn't want anything to happen to it. Now, do you think I should call my insurance company and get renter's insurance?
At the very least.
But it's not worth it because they're priceless. I couldn't afford that much insurance. So the rock theme continued as Mimi saw Valerie make the rock and Nick make the rock. And so she took some glue and some pebbles and she made me a rock.
She just knew her mother would have it forever.
And I do.
That's right.
I think she was about 5 now, so she's 50 now, so she was about 5 at the time. So it's a 45-year-old work of art. So the rock theme continued. And so I went on I left California and I drove to seminary. And as I did that, we went through the petrified forest. And I paid for it, okay? I did not take it. And if you go to the petrified forest, you do not take stuff. It's okay, buy it. Be happy that you got to
All
go.
the national parks are like that.
And that it's still there. I don't mind because it's preserving our treasures. But this is a piece of petrified wood, And when I see it, I remember 2 special trips to the Petrified Forest. One with Val and Don and my mom, and Daddy was still alive then, and Dad.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then the other one when I was going to seminary, and that was a great adventure. When we were on our trip through Arizona, I got a little Cocopelli rock. Now, Cocopelli is the Native American mischief maker. Do you think I could live without Cocopelli? Oddly, my mom loved him too. And then I got a rose quartz because I thought it was beautiful. And in Unity, which is the church that I'm a minister in, we're very big on little nicky-nacky things. And so I'd always give them out in my services and stuff. And this is a rock that had tenacity on it. Little glass blurb.
Oh, yeah.
Tenacity in it. Boy, I think that's kind of like me.
Most of the time.
You think
yeah,
I'm
exactly,
tenacious? Yeah. And then this was just from a little Unity trip I made to Unity Church. And this is from, hang on a minute.
Uh-oh, that one's
This
gonna go
is
next.
from Waco. This is from Waco. I just had to go there. I lived in Texas, and I just had to go and see what happened. And, I had to see that. I just had to see it, okay? And oddly, if you ask people in Waco where the Branch Davidian complex was, very few people even, they go, oh, I don't know. I know it's around here somewhere. Well, we drove around, my friend and I drove around all day, Barbara, if you're out there, drove around all day looking for it. We finally found it. So I just picked up a little piece of concrete. When I was there, and I think it's important for people to realize it, when I was there, I felt the greatest sense of peace. So I think we have to think about that for all the horror that was there. And then this is my little, I did pick this up, okay? I did pick it up. It is a piece of the old Route 66.
I don't think they're going to miss it.
Probably not. But when my granddaughter passed away, and I was so heartbroken and devastated, and I didn't know what to do. And I asked God, I don't know what to do, because I can understand how people would commit suicide. Not that I even thought about that, but I could understand how bad it hurt. So Spirit said to me, drive historic 66. What a good idea that was. And we stopped. We did part of Route 66 on our drive to Arizona.
You always manage to get a little bit of it when you go on a trip.
Yeah, see, that's it. And then I just have this little, this is a piece of...
What is that?
mica.
Oh, mica.
Mica. This is for the
by a
campground, because here at the campground we've got tons of mica. And if you didn't know what that does, mica filters water very well. So we had amazing water here at the campground in Moodus, Connecticut, Grandview, little plug. So I keep this because I'm so happy to be here. And those are the major rocks. So what's next on your agenda?
I think I'm all out. No, I got one more thing.
Well, good. Get it out here.
When Mom and Dad moved to Texas, they loved it down there, and they ended up buying a house and a condo in the community. And the community every year would have like a craft sale. They'd sell goodies, and then they'd sell things that people made, because a lot of the people who are there are very, very talented. And one day Mom went to a craft show, and she can't come home empty-handed, And she saw this woman's display. And she had, in her display, these animals that she made. And they weren't stuffed or anything. They were very lightweight. And they weren't stitched. And they weren't carved exactly. But they were very special. And she could make them to order if you had an animal that she could copy, give her a picture or bring the animal in. So, of course, at that particular time, I had 3 Siamese cats. They started as kittens. When they were 6 weeks old, I got all 3 of them. They were from the same litter. They were my treasure. They traveled with us in the motorhome everywhere. They just loved it. They would lay on the dashboard all stretched out, and the trucks going by would almost have a heart attack looking in the window like, is that really what I think it is? You know. So Mom got it in her head that we should have an animal made out of the cat. So she gave the girl a photograph of all three of my cats. So little did anybody know this. Mom, nobody ever outdoes Mom.
No, my mother, our mother.
Okay, so I will show you. Come on. Sorry about that, folks.
Oh,
Here we go. There's got to be 3 in there. Yes, there is. This one's Nefertari. I mean, look at that face. Look at that beautiful cat. And they have these little nails in the feet, so you hang them on the curtains. So it looks like your cats are climbing up the curtains. So this is one. This one's Nefertari.
don't answer it. She has a phone that tells her to stand up and turn around and take a walk, and we're going to go for a walk next.
This one is Cleo. There's Cleo.
I don't feel them. Oh.
They don't weigh anything.
No, they're light as a feather. They're foam. Do you take them in the tubby and they float?
I'm afraid they probably blow up.
Woman dies in bathtub,
Very
surrounded by foam cats.
Oh. She's going to...
How old are they?
Oh my goodness, they got to be 30 years old easily. And this one is Sephra. She's my little gray girl. We're going to have to get that. And she climbs up the curtains too with her little pins on her. They got a little dusty. It took me a long time to find them before I came. She kept saying, you must have something that you hang on to too long. But with all the junk in my house all over the place because of my new bathroom, these were the last thing I found. But I did find them. So these are my 3 girls. They're gone now. They live to be in their mid-20s. So Siamese cats have a history of living a long time. But they were, like I said before, a real treasure. I just adore them. If you ever have a chance. But remember, Siamese cats aren't the easiest cats to live with unless you really love cats. Because they have a mind of their own. And they do things, but they love each other.
I think the bottom line of what we shared today is that because things do not have a high value monetarily, they don't hold value for people, but they hold value in the memories. It might look like a cat, but it's my mother's love given to my sister, and she got the big cup, which is
What?
And she got the big cup.
I got the big cup. Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this little afternoon visit with some of our trinkets, toys, and treasures. We're going to go either put them away, put them on the freebie table, or put them in the trash.
No. Trash is not
well, not for your stuff.
No,
I'm talking about my sign and like that.
I don't think all your stuff should go either, so.
I know. Well, all righty. Have a great day.
Thank you for checking us out.
And come back the next time if you want to make sure you don't
never
miss
know when
it.
it's going to be, though. So,
No, we don't.
We check every once in a while.
Yeah, you can make sure you follow us on Facebook, and if you go, after I'm done with this, I'm going to flip it around so everything's frontward and put it on YouTube. So you can subscribe on YouTube, and you won't miss a thing. Always add your comments. If you have questions, what was it like back in the day about fill in the blank? We'll be happy to answer it. If we don't have the answer, we'll make one up, right?
Oh, yeah. We're good about that. Yeah, we always have an answer.
All right. Well, you guys take care. God bless. And we will see you soon, sooner or later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.